one of the lawmakers who introduced the bill, Republican Senate Finance Committee member Steve Daines, Senator Steve Daines. So, Senator, what do you think? Should the judiciary branch be involved in this?
Well, look, Americans have lost trust in so many institutions, including Congress. They're losing trust in their government. You look at the approval ratings of Congress, they're some of the lowest ever. I think a root canal is more favorable than Congress. And so something's got to be done. And we need to restore the trust of the American people in this institution. When you are elected to serve in Congress, you are elected to serve, not to be served. And the American people see through that. They see what's going on with some things that have been going on Capitol Hill. And that's why it's a Republican from Montana and a Democrat from Massachusetts who are working together with this ban on trading individual stocks. And keep in mind, your own Fox poll that just came out recently said 70% of the American people support this. And by the way, it doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat or Republican, the numbers are about the same. It's 70% of the American people. They want to see something done here.
Right. So, and thanks for the plug, Senator. So Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer now signaling maybe he supports this. What's the likelihood, do you think, that your bill gets past the Senate?
Well, it's gaining traction, and it always starts with a bipartisan introduction. This is the first bipartisan bill with Elizabeth Warren and myself. And I can tell you, Elizabeth Warren and I most times do not agree on about anything. We have very different views about the future of America and so forth, but we agree on this. And that's why I think it bodes well for something like this actually getting passed and signed into law.
You know, it's interesting. This debate is coming up as you might be asked to cast a vote for the Federal Reserve nominees. Representative Jamie Raskin failed to disclose a $1.5 million stock trade involving his wife, Sarah Bloom Raskin, who's now up for the Board of Governors spot on the Federal Reserve. So first, which way are you leaning on Sarah Bloom Raskin vote? I'm going to ask you that. But then, you know, it raises the question about those external influences for decisions when lawmakers trade stocks, right?
Yeah, well, let me, first of all, I'm on the banking committee also. We will have that vote for Ms. Raskin. But I'm very concerned about the Biden administration where they're nominating these ideologues, these far-left ideologues, where Ms. Raskin has really put climate change one of her highest priorities, to shut down the oil and gas industry by really stopping capital flow through the financial side of it. Right. You cannot do that when you are part of the Federal Reserve. There's a clear mandate from Congress on what they do. That's way out of bounds, the mandates. So I will be opposing her nomination. We want individuals to understand the mandates of the Federal Reserve. They don't bring their ideology that could shut down the oil and gas industry at a time when energy costs are skyrocketing.
So we're going to put on all your hats. Now I want you to put on your energy hat because you're on the Energy Committee. You're from Montana. Tom Fanning is the chairman and CEO of Southern Company. It's one of the largest utility companies in the U.S., and he says that they get cyber attacked millions of times a day, which they fight off. Listen here. We talked with the president and CEO of the Edison International about this. Listen to what he had to say.
And that threat can come from multiple places, from geopolitical tensions, from nation-state actors, all the way through to, you know, somebody sitting in a basement someplace. What I would say, though, is that the strength of the partnership is helping us continue to improve. And the bad guys are getting worse, but the partnership with the federal government has been critical in giving us intelligence and giving us the tools.
So what do you think? Russia and China seem to, like they're not stopping or turning a blind eye to hacks from their country or actively involved in those cyber attacks. What do you think?
Well, first of all, he's right. This is a very real threat to our infrastructure and to our economic security and our national security, the cyber threats. But I think it's important to step back and look at the direction this administration, the Biden administration, is taking this country to shut down Made in America energy. One of the great accomplishments over the course of the last 10 years is the fact we've become energy independent. Since President Biden took office, Russian oil imports to the United States have more than doubled. It's crazy. You can't make this up, as the American people are suffering with skyrocketing energy prices. So this is a major, major blunder by this administration, and it puts our nation at risk.
And only emboldens Russian President Vladimir Putin, which is now what we're seeing over in Ukraine. So, Senator, from the great state of Montana, Senator Steve Daines, thank you for coming on today. I really appreciate that.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.